Ripple's ongoing legal battle with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, may be nearing its final act. Analysts and industry insiders are increasingly confident that a formal SEC withdrawal of its appeal could be the trigger for a major rally in XRP's price, with a status report deadline on August 15, 2025. Public attention is sharply focused on what this date could mean for XRP holders. In this article, we'll examine the legal backdrop and why analysts expect a resolution. Price implications if the SEC drops its appeal, technical and market signals fueling bullish sentiment, expert predictions and market psychology around the case, risk factors if the SEC delays or continues the appeal, broader implications for crypto regulation and institutional adoption, legal backdrop, where things stand with Ripple and the SEC. The case began in December 2020, when the SEC sued Ripple, claiming that its XRP sales constituted unregistered securities offerings. In July 2023, federal judge Analysts made a split ruling XRP sold on public exchanges was not a security, but institutional sales were, and Ripple was fined $125 million. Both parties appealed, however, on June 27, 2025. Ripple officially withdrew its cross-appeal, signaling readiness to close the legal chapter. The August 15th deadline, what it means, and why it matters. While the SEC isn't legally obligated to dismiss the appeal by August 15th, both parties must file a joint status report by that date. Per appellate procedure, no date beyond this has been set, making August 15th a de facto turning point. Legal analysts Bill Morgan and former SEC attorney Mark Fagel have reinforced the significance of this report. Although it doesn't guarantee a withdrawal, it will reveal whether the SEC plans to request more time, press ahead, or drop the case altogether. Why analysts are predicting a big spike, institutional interest unlocked. Tech founder Vincent Van Code has predicted a major price rally in mid-August if the SEC formally withdraws its appeal. He points to up to 1,700 companies under NDA with Ripple that could begin partnerships publicly once legal uncertainty lifts. ETF approvals as a catalyst. Platforms like FX leaders warn that any delay by the SEC would hurt sentiment, while a vote to withdraw the appeal could pave the way for XRP spot ETF approvals, resulting in institutional inflows and speculative momentum. Historical precedent. Past rallies following legal wins. After Judge Torres's partial ruling in 2023, XRP jumped as much as 70% within days. Analysts expect a similar, or even stronger, reaction once full closure arrives. Technical triggers and market signals. Price structure. Support and resistance. XRP dipped to $3.10, then rebounded above $3.15. Analysts are focusing on a double bottom setup near $3.10. A confirmed bounce could push XRP toward $3.40 and higher levels like $3.66 and beyond. Volume and open interest catalysts. The status update or formal dismissal is likely to trigger surging volume, derivative open interest, and speculative flows. This may lead to volatility and price discovery above key resistance levels. Expert opinions and market psychology. Former SEC staff and analysts expect dismissal. Mark Fagel, a former SEC attorney, predicts that the staff will vote to dismiss the appeal soon, though timing is uncertain. Bill Morgan likewise emphasizes that while there's no binding deadline, the SEC will need to deliver a response by August 15th. Confidence from market advocates. Van Code and other community voices maintain that XRP's real opportunity begins once the legal risk disappears. They believe that legacy partnerships, institutional flows, and even crypto legislation, like the Clarity Act or Project Crypto, could lift XRP into sustained growth. Risk factors. What could delay or disappoint? SEC cancels or delays rather than withdraws. The SEC may simply request an extension or report it still plans to appeal. That would preserve legal ambiguity and likely stall price momentum. Procedural report misread. If the status report is misinterpreted as a positive signal, a wave of speculative buying may hit only to pull back, potentially creating a sell the rumor event if withdrawal doesn't follow. Broader market forces. Even with favorable legal news, macro headwinds, like interest rate hikes, inflation surprises, or regulatory setbacks in other jurisdictions may suppress XRP rally. Why the Ripple decision matters beyond XRP, regulatory precedent. If Judge Torres's ruling becomes final, it sets a legal precedent confirming that retail XRP isn't a security, possibly influencing future SEC enforcement on other tokens. ETF adoption and institutional capital. A favorable outcome may open the door for spot XRP ETFs and corporate collaboration with Ripple, especially in cross-border finance and stablecoin infrastructure. Market confidence and momentum. Crypto markets thrive on clarity. A definitive conclusion to Ripple's legal saga may lift investor sentiment across all coins, improving liquidity and participation. Tactical advice for XRP stakeholders. Watch official filings, especially around August 15th, via court dockets or trusted legal reporting, not speculation. Track key price levels, including $3.10 support, $3.40 resistance, and higher breakout potential above $3.66. Expect spikes in volume and open interest. Be prepared for short squeezes and fast moves. Beware of overreaction if an appeal is delayed. Avoid chasing price on rumor alone. Monitor institutional and ETF-related announcements. They'll confirm whether demand is materializing in real time. Conclusion, possibility or probability. While the outcome remains uncertain, the tone from legal analysts and Ripple insiders strongly suggests the SEC appeal may be withdrawn following internal votes and procedural steps. If that happens, the result could be a major price catalyst, potentially lifting XRP past resistance. And back in April, Ripple made headlines when it announced the acquisition of Hidden Road, a firm with ties to the clearinghouse responsible for processing over $11 trillion in transactions every single day. This major development has only added fuel to the ongoing speculation within the XRP community about the token's future value and long-term potential. One particularly bold projection comes from a model shared by the analyst known as Future XRP. According to his calculations, if both XRP's circulating supply and its velocity remain stable, the coin would need to increase in value by a staggering 1,538 times to handle global transaction volumes ranging from $100 trillion to as much as $2 quadrillion. Under this model, the price of one XRP would skyrocket to approximately $3.38. So what does that mean for current holders? In this scenario, Future XRP mapped out several hypothetical wealth outcomes.